For the final part, I'm going to show you how you might create a strap to link the two together. Now I'm going to go back into the create form area, and you can see that you've got a ghost impression of your work, but I can turn on the edges again so that you can see it a bit clearer. Now this time I'm going to use the plane, and I'm going to draw my plane on the side where the strap sort of holes are. Now it's going to draw it as a center rectangle, so I'm going to go in the middle here, and I'm going to create one that fits. And OK. Now always play around with your viewing cube so you can see that it's in the middle because it was on the work plane. So I'm going to double click on the face and press M for move, and I'm going to bring the whole thing closer to the edge, but just inside the cast. Now this is where we might need more faces, so I'm going to select all 4 of them. So I'm going to hold Shift and select all 4, and I'm going to click on Modify and Subdivide. So this will create more faces and edges for us to work with. Now I'm going to turn Civil on Face on, and I'm going to double click on this particular row, and I'm going to right click and edit the form, bringing it down to the point where I intend for it to come through the hole. I'm going to double click on the top row, and I'm going to go from the side, and I'm going to take it and bend it around. Now you might find again that you need to have a little play around so that you definitely get it lined up with the slot, because you lose a little bit with it when you're curving. I'm going to repeat the process with the bottom slot. Okay, until I'm happy with where the position is. Now at the moment, obviously, with it being a strap, we might want to make it look a bit more realistic. We can hold Shift, select these faces, and create a modify, and subdivide again, and then press OK, and we might want to zoom in and select that edge, right click, edit form, and turn so that you can definitely get the right feature in the right direction. You might just want to create a bit of a bend in there. Now when we're happy with the strap, we can again we can double click on it, and we can Control-C, Control-P, so that we've created a second one, and we can move it across so that it is in line with the second set of slots. Now you might need a little bit of further editing, but when you're happy you can press Finish Form, and you'll notice that this one is not tucked behind because of where the cast comes in. So I'm going to go down to my timeline, I'm going to double click back into Edit Form, I'm going to double click on this face to select the whole plane, and I'm going to press M to move, and I'm just going to move this whole thing back. And press OK. So when I'm happy with where this one is, and it might need a little bit more work, but I'm going to press Finish Form, and you will see that we have these two straps. But you can also see that they are cutting through slightly. So double click into Edit Form, double click onto a particular row and edit the form, and then we might just bring it back slightly. Okay, and you can do this a number of times until you're happy and keep checking by finishing the form. Now, just like we did with the cast, we're going to need to thicken this strip here. I'm going to thicken it 5mm and press OK. And this one will need a bit of further editing, so I'll focus on this one for now. We can go on to Modify Appearance, and I might change for a slightly different looking fabric this time, so I might go for the black. And again, right click and edit and bring the scale down slightly. Then when I'm happy, I'm going to press Done and Close. Now we've created a strap here. Again, we can play around with it a bit more, and if we look back at the sort of more detailed design, we can see that it's a kind of denim design and it's wrapped back on itself because we've got these tri-glide clips. Now they were created separately, so this time I'm going to open my data panel and I have tri-glide buckle here, and I'm going to right click and insert it into the current design. And that will bring, I'll just resave it quickly and resave this design here. So when that file is saved, I'll be able to insert another file in here. So I'm going to right click on the tri-glide buckle, insert into current design, and we will see that it will appear in here, and it's given us the option to move it. So I'm just going to find the best angle to have it. And again, I'll be dragging the viewing cube around until I'm happy. And I'm also going to bring it out. So it involves, for accuracy wise, it involves a lot of moving around the viewing cube and just moving your features or your sort of little designs around just to make it look more realistic. Okay, so when I'm happy with where the buckle is, just try and move it a little bit slower. I might decide that I want to now just edit the actual sort of band here a little bit more. So I'm just going to tilt that just a slight bit more. So at this point, I would go back into the form area, and you can see the ghost image of the buckle. So I can take this line, edit the form, and I can bring it down and kind of wrap it into the buckle. Now we may have to hold the Alt key and bring an extra set of faces through. Now, the more you play with this, the tighter you can get it to the buckle. Because you might want to actually have it coming back out again. So Alt key, drag it down. Hold it out again and then get that final bit there. Now, as soon as I press OK, it should update where it was thickened before. So I click on Finish Form, and you can see it's not perfect at the moment. I'd probably spend a little bit more time on it. But as I zoom out, you can see that it is now tied within the buckle. And you can just repeat the process on all of the sides if that's the way that you want to connect your cast together.